Hey guys, what's up and welcome. It's Matthew here, the script doctor from Balisa Story Academy. Let's continue with our final draft series. This is where I'm helping you to write a script professionally. In this video, I am going to teach you how to outline in details. Let's just jump straight into it. So as you can see here, we already got some outlines, outline 1 and outline 2. So let's make outline meaningful. So when you are writing a script, there is something called a story structure. Depending on your knowledge of story structure, for us, we are going to go with 3x structure. What is 3x structure? 3x structure is just an approach to storytelling where you just have to adhere to the introduction, the middle, and an end, just like writing an essay or a composition. So when it comes to 3x structure, the beginning, middle, and an end is labeled as Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. So let's get into that. So what we are going to do here, we're going to just double click on Windows. Let me just double check what's the problem. Okay, double click on Windows. We are going to have Act 1. Let me just put all caps. As you can see, this is going to be our Act 1. And then we're going to have Act 2. And we're going to have Act 3. Okay, since at the moment we are not going to show much of a script, let's just remove this part. Okay, let's go here and show only this. So as you can see, this is much better. Okay, we need more space. Okay, so we've got Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. So I'm going to right click here and then change this so that we can have some different colors. Okay, not really red. Okay, we don't need red. So I'm using Windows, so I'm just right clicking on the bits. Okay, so now let's go to the outline. Another important thing is, as we are trying to plot our story, I need to know the duration. Okay, so let's just go to this timeline. As you can see, let's just right click here and let's change the script length. Let's say we are going to go with 2 hours, which is 120 minutes. Okay, if you are a beginner in script writing, there is a rule that says 1 page is equal to 1 minute of a screen time. Okay, I have tested this myself and found it to be true. Okay, it's very precise. If maybe it is not exact, it's just maybe half a page or a paragraph, but in most cases it's exact. Okay, so if we've got 120 pages, that 120 minutes, that is equivalent to 120 pages. So this rule helps you to map your page to screen time, and it works perfect. So 120 minutes is 120 pages. So now we need to divide our time or our pages according to our acts. Okay, so here is the thing. Act 1 and Act 2, they are equal. Okay, and Act 3 is the longest. Okay, so Act 3 is twice Act 2. Okay, so let's just drag this. Or another thing that we need to do now, since we're getting into outlining in details, let's just make this pop up. As you can see, we've got outline 1. Okay, let's rename this outline, okay, to Act, because in this line we are going to put some acts, our acts. Okay, another important thing to note about outlines. Okay, think of an outline like multiple layers or multiple rows. Okay, these rows represents different things in your script. We can have acts, we can have character arc, let's say, we can have hints on the plot, let's say on certain beats. We can have hints on setups and payoff in this layer. Let's say on page 13 there will be a setup, and on page 90 there will be a payoff. So as you can see, outlining, think of it like rows. Okay, rows. Okay, and these rows help you to remember certain things. Okay, so now we are going to label this one as Act 1. So let's just right click here in these dots, and where is rename? Let's go to rename and let's just type here acts. Okay, okay, as you can see, so we are going to drag and drop this here. Okay, let's start from 0. Yes, this is 0. Okay, okay, let me zoom out. Zoom out. Looks like this is not 0. My apologies. Okay, let me zoom out so that I can view this whole timeline. Okay, as you can see, okay, this is zoomed in too much. Let me use this instead. Yes, this will work. Okay, So as you can see, this is our act. Okay, so we need to why is not showing. Let me just click undo. Here is it. I need to, okay, so we need to take this act and move it to page 0. Okay, as you can see, and then from page 0 we want this to be 30 minutes. Okay, so 30 minutes, let's just zoom in so that we can, my apologies about this. It looks like my things are not in order. Okay, but we will get the momentum. Okay, so as you can see, now we have page 30 or minute 30. As you can see, I'm happy with this. And then we're going to take act 2. Okay, we're going to take act 2. So act 2 is going to take 60 minutes. Okay, so meaning that it will start from minute 30 to 90. Okay, as you can see, it makes twice this act. And then act 3, let me just change this color, my apologies about that. Okay, drag this as a bit. Okay, it's cold today and my fingers are freezing, so my apologies about this. Okay, so as you can see, up to 120. Okay, okay, I'm happy with this. So as you can see, now we have divided our duration into acts. Okay, so we know that at page 30 we are breaking into 2, and then at page 90 we are breaking into 3. Okay, fine, this is fine, awesome, I'm happy with this. Let's say we've got our main character and we want to map the character arc. Okay, so let's say let's create another bit here. Okay, let's create all the bits that relate to act 1. Let's say here on act 1 we need to put a backstory, let's say. Okay, backstory. Okay, that's what we are going to do. We're going to introduce a backstory for our character. Okay, and then let me put another story, and then at minute 15, let's say the inciting incident. Okay, inciting incident. Okay, let's say we want to say, let's say at 15 minutes. Okay, feel free to write whatever you want. Outlining in Final Draft helps you to craft your story or to map it, okay, in an awesome and easy and efficient way. Okay, so now I'm not going to give colors to this bit. So what is important here, let's say as soon as we start the story, okay, important to note, we need to link these bits, okay, to act 1, because these are going to happen to act 1. You will see in a minute why must we do that. So we are going to take this bit, drag and drop it on act 1. As you can see now, there's a connection line, and then we take this bit, drag and drop it here, and then there's a connection line. Okay, so we can take this bit and drop it here on outline 2. Okay, so for now, I'm not going to adjust a lot of things. Okay, as you can see, it's on outline 2. And then let's change outline 2 now to character. Let's just give it a name. Okay, let's just rename here. Okay, let's just give it a name here. Let's say our main character is Matthew. Okay, as you can see here, this is Matthew. Maybe we can say Matthew arc so that this can be meaningful. Okay, uh, character arc. Okay, let's say Matthew arc. And then as you can see in the at minute 0 we need to have a backstory there, and then at minute 15 we need an inciting incident. Let me just give a color to this so that it can be easier for us to see. Okay, let me choose this one. Okay, then we're going to drag and drop it somewhere here. Okay, let's see. Okay, drop it here. Okay, my apologies about this. Let me zoom in. Let me zoom in a little bit. Okay, as you can see. Okay, the inciting incident, and it needs to happen at minute 15. Where is minute 15? It's somewhere here. Let me just zoom in again until I see 15. As you can see, I'm happy with this. Okay. Okay, let me zoom out. So I'm not going to create more beats for other acts. I hope you have an idea of how do you use these beats and how you link them to acts. Okay, so why were we linking these beats to act one? Check here. In case we might want to move, let's say we might want to move act one. Okay, maybe shift it in time, go forward or go back. Check here. Okay, these beats, okay, are moving with act one. Okay, so let me just show you one last thing, which is to, let me just undo, okay, which is to add an outline row. Okay, so you can just come here and right click and then add a lane. Okay, and then let's say we want to add outline 3, and then here maybe we can say setups. Okay, then let's say dash payoff. This is payoff. Okay, okay, so as you can see in this outline, we are going to put our setups and payoff. What could a setup be? Let me just give you an example. Okay, let's say our character, um what could be a setup? Okay, let's say we are going to introduce, let's say, just okay, let's say Lady D. Okay, come back and put here. So at this minute, it doesn't matter what it is. Okay, we are going to introduce Lady D as a setup, and we want to make let's say Lady D payoff. Okay, let's say whatever Lady D, okay, so let's say whatever Lady D said at this minute, okay, it will have some implications on this minute. So as you can see, using this feature of final draft, the outline feature, it helps you to create or to craft a powerful plot. Okay, something that I think most of my students at Balisa, they are missing. Okay, most of my students, they don't understand plot, and I don't think they are equipped enough to understand what is it and how important it is. Let me just give you an idea. Christopher Nolan once wrote a movie called, I think it's Memento, but if that's not the name, that movie about somebody who loses memory. Interestingly about that movie, it's played in reverse. Okay, it's like there are two timelines. Okay, the other one is going forward, the color one, and there's a black and white narrative or timeline that goes backwards. Okay, so as you can see, guys, it looks like if that is going to be cohesive, including the conflicts, the characters, and like 3x structure, inciting incident, this looks complex. But with Final Draft, as you can see, you've got you become like an architect. That's why in my YouTube channel I've got a course which is story design and architecture. So I approach story like architecture. Okay, so you can beautifully design your plot in such a way that you hit certain beats at a certain point in time. Maybe in closing, let me just explain to you why must I hit certain beats. Most of my students, they feel like they can write their own stories. Let me just call this story of my life. Matthew in South Africa, graphic designer to developer, and then got interested in storytelling or was born a storyteller or whatever. Okay, that is not interesting. Story of your life is not that interesting. You need to put this story and ground it in a plot. Okay, so why would you do that? Number one, based on the beats that you are hitting in a plot, okay, that might give you a genre. Okay, based on your plotting, I can tell that this genre is a psychological thriller or whatever, based on your beats and your setup. I'm Matthew Msengati, the script doctor from Balisa Story Academy. In case you are on TikTok, we've got a YouTube channel that has got more courses to help you become a better storyteller. Please do us a favor. Don't forget to just hit that subscribe button. See you on the next one.